Welcome to Mindful Makerspace Challenge. My name is Mrs. Nance. And before we begin our activity today, let's go ahead and take our 2 deep breaths. Remember, we're going to breathe through the nose and out through the mouth. We're going to take 2 mindful breaths. Let's go ahead and pick our favorite flower. Today, I'm going to pick the cherry blossom. Let's sit up nice and straight. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now that you're focused and ready, enjoy your activity. For this activity, we'll be building a windsock. A windsock can show you how strong or weak the wind is blowing. It can also show you which way the wind is blowing. This is important for predicting weather, for pilots, drone owners, sailors, firefighters, hunters, anyone spraying outside, wind farms, and even farmers. They need to know direction of the wind so they can build windbreaks to protect their crops and hold the soil in to prevent erosion. Here are the materials you'll need, and some I'll give you options and choices. First, you'll need a plastic bottle. You will need a permanent marker, a pair of scissors, a ruler or a yardstick. You can use a hole punch, but you could also use the scissors. I will be using a box cutter, but you'll probably be able to do it with a pair of scissors, so this is an option. You'll need some kind of either paracord or a shoestring, something that will last outside. I'm going to use painter's tape. You do not have to have this. This is just an option. And then the item that's going to be fluttering in the wind to show us the speed and the direction, you can either use, this is called construction tape. It's already in a roll, it's in strips, it's very nice. Or you can use plastic tablecloth, which comes in multiple colors, or plastic sacks that come from the store. Let's get started. We need to cut a ring out of this water bottle. And it needs to be about, I want to say, 1.5 inches to 2 inches. And this, where the label is probably the perfect amount. You can either mark it with tape all the way around and cut with a box cutter, or you can draw around it, puncture it with a pair of scissors, and cut. Doesn't matter, we'll just need 1.5 inches of a ring from this plastic bottle. I've used one side marked with tape to cut with a box cutter and one side with permanent marker to puncture with the scissors. Remember, if you're using a box cutter, your parents are helping you. It's very, very sharp, but it makes a nice, clean, easy cut, and I'm keeping even with my tape. This is a bit more tough because you're going to have to puncture your bottle with your scissors. Again, please get help with this. And then cut along your line. I'm going to take off the label. We don't want that there. And then you can recycle the rest of the bottle, but this will be the start of your windsock, the ring. Next, punch 2 holes inside of your windsock, opposite of each other. So this one, and then I'm going to go opposite and punch the next one. Next, cut 2 feet of cord, either your paracord or your shoestring, and then you're going to find your holes that you hole punched and place your string through. And you really want it long enough to depend on where you want to hang this and how long you want it to hang. Put the 2 together, the ends, pull until you have the center, and then create a knot so it doesn't fray. And this is how your windsock will be held up. Next, it's time to punch holes for the items that will be flowing in the wind. I first start with 4, and you can always add more. So I would hole punch on one side and then opposite, and then one side and then opposite. So for right now, 4 holes. If you're using construction tape as your streamers, you'll need to cut 4-foot strips. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, 12 inches is 1 foot. Now I'm just going to take that and cut another one using the first tape as my measurement. So I need 4 of these. If you're using a tablecloth from like the Dollar Tree, this is $1 and they come in all colors, fold it twice and then again, so double up on itself about a foot. So there'll be a foot, 2, 3, 4 approximately. It can be 10 inches to a foot. And then place your yardstick at the edge, trace, and then move the yardstick until you have 4 strips. And then you're going to cut. This is the fastest way to create your strips and getting different colors for your streamers. When you cut, make sure your tablecloth stays together. So you're going to cut that approximate 4-foot length all at one time. If you're going to use a store plastic bag, go ahead and get your yardstick, your permanent marker in your bag. They won't be as long as the construction tape or the plastic tablecloth, but it will still work. Place your ruler, your yardstick or your ruler, on the side against the bag. This is the handle. I'm going to press up against it, and I'm going to draw a line down the side of the handle with my permanent marker. I'm going to do the same thing with the other handle. This will give us some long and short streamers. It'll also give us different size streamers. In the middle, I'm going to place the yardstick. And I should have 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can cut the strips out and we'll use the ones that you want. You can also do different colored bags. So you can have different color of streamers. For the handle that's left, if you want this really long streamer, go ahead and cut the end of the handle and then find the seam of the bag. Ooh, looks like I didn't need to. It was already cut. Sometimes there's a seam that you can cut. If this is doubled and you want 2, go ahead and cut this one in the middle and you'll have 2 long streamers from the bag's handle. to demonstrate for each streamer how to place them in the holder for the windsock. For the construction tape, I'm going to double it up. Find the ends, then find the center. I'm going to take that center and I'm going to fold it till it's nice and tight and I can get it inside of that hole. Once I have a loop, I'm going to place the streamers inside that loop. This is called a slip knot. And feed my streamers through that slip knot. And when I pull, it automatically knots my streamers to my container. And I can do that all the way around. And if I want more colors or more streamers, I just punch more holes. For my tablecloth streamers, if it wasn't as long as I wanted, just take an end, find the other punched hole, push it through the inside, make a knot, make sure the knot doesn't come through, and then your streamer is already ready. The plastic bag streamers will come in different lengths. If it's really long, go ahead and make sure that you take the end and make it small and put it through one of the holes. And you can either pull it all the way across until it's even at the bottom, and you can just tie it in a knot. If it's really small, you can feed it in and tie it in a small knot. So let's do this one that way so you can see the difference. Either you go all the way through halfway, or you go in a little bit. If it's not very long, feed it through just a tiny bit, and since it's so thin, let's just make a small knot at the bottom, and then your streamers can even be longer. I decided to do a pink and white windsock, doing a pattern of every other color. I placed the white a little bit higher on the plastic, and the pink, those 4 original hole punches. Let's see how this works. My windsock is sharing with me it's a windy day today. Oh, I can't wait to see your windsocks, to see if you can measure the wind, if it's strong or if it's weak. Which direction is your wind blowing? Happy learning.